Alright, so the easiest way I can explain the guess and check method is by reversing the box method. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with an example. Let's look at example 3, which says factor x squared minus 4x minus 21. So in this case, there is no monomials that we could factor out. So all that's left to do is what they call the guess and check method. So if we go ahead and draw our box, remember these terms are what are going to be inside the box. So our first term is always in the top left, and that last term is always in the bottom right. And then the middle terms always add up. The diagonals always add up to that middle term, so negative 4x. Okay, so we know two numbers that multiply together to get x squared, that would be x and x. So now we need two numbers that multiply together to get negative 21, but add up to negative 4x. So this is where the guess and check comes in, because you're going to guess different factors of negative 21 until you get two factors that add up to negative 4x. So if we think, well, probably 7 and 3, some combination of 7 and 3 will get us negative 4. And one of them have to be negative because they multiply to negative 21. So either the 7 is negative or the 3 is negative. Since we want to add them together to get a negative 4x, I'm going to let the 7 be negative, because negative 7 times x is negative 7x. And then x times 3 is 3x. And then 3x plus negative 7x is negative 4x. So here's one factor, and here's the second factor. So I get the answer x minus 7 times x plus 3. Let's look at another example similar to that. We've got example 4, where we want to factor 12x squared minus 5x minus 2. So in this case, there are no common monomials that we can factor out. So we are left with our guess and check method. Our first two terms have to multiply together to get 12x squared, and our last two terms have to multiply together to get negative 2, and our middle terms have to add up to negative 5x. So 12x squared, we need two numbers that can multiply to 12x squared. We could pick 12x and x, that would be 12x squared.